Hey everybody, welcome to episode 63 of Two Guys, Zero Planners. It has been an exceptionally long time since we've done this, but there have been reasons. Lots and lots of reasons. Let's go ahead, I guess, and start with your reasons, because yours are actually good with holiday and stuff like that. Mine is more, oh dear, I have to move or lose my job.
Yeah, it's been a long time, so I'm not entirely sure what all the reasons were. So yeah, we didn't actually go on holiday during the summer. But I don't know, it was all there was somehow a lot, and then school started again, and then somehow it was a bit too much to even think about recording. That's my reasoning at this point.
Yeah, so we recorded, in March, early April? It was a while ago.
Well, I mean, the last episode was released in June.
Oh, okay, yeah, so we recorded in May.
Yeah.
And we were going to record again in June. But funny thing happened on Friday the 13th in June. When you show up to work on a Friday, and suddenly you see people that are at least 3 or 4 levels up the food chain that showed up unannounced, plus a lead member from HR, you know it's never good.
Yeah.
So they let us know in very certain terms that they were shutting down the Oklahoma City office for my job, and anyone that wanted to keep their job was waiting for them a couple hours down the highway. And we could either choose to move with the company or, depending on how long we'd been with the company, a somewhat sizable severance package or retirement for people that wanted to retire. So there is that too. Quite a few people went ahead and took the we don't want to be employed anymore option. Because, I mean, I'm being honest. At the rate a lot of those people were being paid at, I would have just found a job locally too and stayed. But at the rate I'm getting paid, especially for a college dropout, realistically, we would have been looking at like a 20-35% pay cut trying to find another job elsewhere. And as we'll find out later in the episode, there was that old song Material Girl. I am definitely a material girl. I have problems. I am reckless with money. Yeah. So there is that. Yeah. So
you had a 3 months, or how long did you have to move?
We had 2 weeks to make a decision. So we had to have a decision made by July 1st. I had my decision made within the first 5 minutes and had started looking for apartments. But our D-Day for showing up here to the new office was September 29th. Luckily, they did let some of us come up a couple weeks early. So for the entire month of August and the tail end of August and the entire month of September, I technically had 2 apartments. So that was expensive. Plus, I had literally just signed a 12-month lease on my previous apartment. So I had to pay a penalty to break my lease. And that penalty is 2 times my rent.
Yeah, that's not cool, I guess.
Yeah, that was all total. I ended up hemorrhaging about $6,200. Some people, it was a lot worse.
That's a big holiday.
Yeah, yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. We're getting $2,000 of it back. Normally, the company doesn't pay for relocations, but they tried to sweeten the deal to keep attrition from being as bad as it was by offering us a non-precedent-setting $2,000 stipend after we had been up here in our new office for 30 days. So I don't even get to see that money for like another 3 weeks, technically.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. I also went ahead and took it as my opportunity to be a fancy boy and move downtown. If we had stayed in Oklahoma City, I was going to, when my new lease was up, I was going to go ahead and move downtown there anyways. I just figured, well, hell, since I'm being forced into it now, I might as well just go ahead and do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's, let's see. I think it's, math. It's about $215 more expensive per month than what I was paying.
Okay.
Yeah. It also doesn't help that part of the increase in cost was the $145 a month that I have to pay for the parking garage across the street.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that is...
All right, yes. I think I remember the pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, if you scroll up in our Discord chat, you can see the... so down to the bottom of that picture, where it says South Main Street, on top of that parking garage, that is actually my parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
The one across the street, that is the parking garage for the... How tall is that building? 530-foot building across the street from me. That's their parking garage for their company. So, yeah. It's an interesting living situation. I love the building I'm in. It has its moments. It's definitely showing its age. The building is 107 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, 108. They finished initial construction, I think, in 1917. So it's 108 years old.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad building. It used to be a bank. So down in the lobby, they have what used to be the daytime vault. They turned it into a conference room with whiteboards and stuff.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. It's a very nice building.
Yeah.
My apartment is 150 square feet smaller. So that's always fun. But I still have plenty of room. I think it's... Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm thinking, what's the oldest apartment I lived in? I think it's like something like 1500s or something.
Okay, mister, my history is a lot longer than your country's ever existed.
Yeah, but it was super annoying. You had sort of a winding staircase and you had to go up 2 floors with a baby and the stroller. There was barely any space downstairs to put it, so it was annoying. Pretty cool, but with a kid, not ideal place.
Right.
I guess.
The good thing about this building, we have elevators.
Yeah, I mean, elevators, no. So nothing you have in, I don't know, 100-year-old building in Munich, you probably wouldn't have an elevator, no.
It's very interesting. So originally I was going to live on the 8th floor, but I decided against it because my oldest is hitting that point in dog years where I've got to be very careful with her hips and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So the dog amenities are on the 3rd floor. So I went ahead and switched to the 3rd floor, which actually saved me $40 a month as well, which, hey, small victories. That's a credit card payment. Yay. But yeah, we ended up moving on the 3rd floor, which is a good thing because my oldest also hates elevators. So you know that little bit of compression that you get at like when the elevator starts going up and it just compresses you into the floor a little bit, or when it gets to the floor that you're at, when you're going down, it compresses a little bit.
Yeah.
I have to make sure that I am holding her like under her stomach so she doesn't immediately just drop to the floor. It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get one of those backpack harnesses for her where it's got the grab handle. Yeah, because I do try to take them to the dog park at least every other week just so they can get out of downtown and be dogs. Yeah. Which I sent you a picture of what they normally get to use, which is it's like 40 foot by 50 foot on top of the 2nd floor roof.
Yeah.
So that is their yard.
Fake grass. Yeah.
It's not bad. Like they at least did their research and got AstroTurf that's got good drainage on it.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a rant coming here for pet owners. I don't know what it is about people that own small dogs. Pick up after your pet, please, for the love of God. Like, I swear, there are probably 2 or 3 small dog owners in this building. We are picking up after your pet because you're too lazy to go outside with your pet and pick up after them.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, I hate poodles. So I already don't like your dog because you don't train your dog, and poodles suck. But then you have the audacity to not even step outside with your dog and then pick up after your dog. Like, WTF? What are you doing? Why do you even own a dog? Do you sit there? Do you have children? And do you sit there with your children and not pick up after them? If that's the case, where are human services? Where is child protection services here? Because that boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from that, though, it's good. I decided to treat it. When I first moved in, it was a little worse because, horrible owners. We're not going back on that rant.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I'm going to be the change that I want to see at the building. So I bought a brand new poop scoop. I bought a high power pressure nozzle for the hose. And for the first couple days, I would go out there at 6:30 while the dogs are doing their thing. And I would just beautify the place.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last 2 weeks, I've noticed I'm having to do less and less work.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I think my neighbors are getting the hint. The next thing I'm going to do is spend about $600 of my own money and get one of those nice metal benches that you normally see, like the mesh metal benches that you normally see on the sidelines for football teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about getting one of those and putting it up against that red wall that you see in the background.
Yeah.
That way you can just sit there and let your dogs have a little bit more time outside. But the end goal is to get that clean enough because I just want to be able to know that, like, if I take a tennis ball out there, I can throw the tennis ball without feeling guilty about my dog putting it in its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can have it there in about another month.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work on my part, but hey, I think if I can get it to that point, then yeah. Am I going overkill for a communal thing that's shared by 70 residents? Sure. But I think it's worth it.
Yeah, but
so.
if it annoys you enough, then I guess it's worth it, right?
It is. It definitely is, especially since I like living here. So the ultimate game plan is to continue living here.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it looks like they may, with how they're talking, this is going to be a more permanent situation for us. So it's one of those I may just need to go ahead and get used to it, which is nice. I mean, I would like to not have to move, at least move cities for another 10 years. That'd be great. 10, 15. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Right now, though, it's good. I finally get to be a snooty McSnooterson and live the downtown lifestyle I've always wanted to live.
Mm-hmm.
And have a silver spoon shoved firmly up my butt.
Mm-hmm. I'm not judging,
as Urban sits there and goes, "Oh dear God, what am I doing in a podcast with this guy?" So that's what's been going on with me, guys. That's why we haven't recorded, because I've been moving and getting everything set up. And our recording today was delayed by half an hour because I fucked up my network somewhere, and I've got to figure it out after the recording. So, also, I guess today I get to start up a Facebook page and tie it to my Instagram account and all that crap so I can...
Wow, that still exists.
Yeah, well, people are really pushing me to make my photography a more serious endeavor. So I think I'm going to cave into the peer pressure and make my photography a more serious endeavor.
Yeah, that's true. If you're trying to spread the content everywhere, I guess there's no way around it.
Unfortunately,
I mean,
no.
for personal use, I've given up on Facebook a long time ago.
Yeah, in my case, the Facebook will be 100% for the photography work. The ultimate game plan, a little bit more me talk, people. Sorry, I'm hogging the episode. So before they turned this building into apartments in the early 2000s, a lawyer bought the entire building for like $1.9 million, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And
that's not a lot, right?
No, it's not. For a 10-story building.
Yeah.
For a 10-story building in a downtown area, that's not a lot of money.
I mean, I paid half that for my 10-year-old house.
Yeah. So to kind of give you an idea, that's how bad of shape this downtown area was in at the turn of the millennium. So fast forward to the mid 2010s, he had leased it out to various things like radio stations. There was a actual Walgreens downstairs. So kind of like a mini mart type thing. The problem with that, though, is all the tenants that they had in the first floor, you can no longer see what the original bank used to look like. The plus side, though, all the floors above the first floor, we all have the original flooring. So it's got the original tile work, which is really nice. It's cool. It's really cool. But he kept the 9th floor for himself when he sold. Well, I don't know if he sold it to the other company or they're just long-term leasing it from him. Let this other company acquire the 1st through 8th floor and then the 10th floor and the roof. And he kept the entire 9th floor for his law office, his private residence. So half of it is his private residence and the other is his law office along with other office spaces for rent.
Okay.
So what I'm debating doing is I'm either going to rent one of the auxiliary spaces in our basement, or I'm going to look into renting one of the office spaces from him, turning that into a photo studio and rent out the space at like an hourly rate or a per session rate for other photographers. Because having a space like directly downtown where you can have a client come in and go, yeah, look at me, I'm important, I'm downtown, pictures. And then it's like, oh, you don't want to do something in the studio? Well, let's go do something out on the street. That's kind of a huge selling point. So I'm thinking about doing that. But that's why I've got to futz with all the Facebook stuff and all that good crap. Social media. Why? So yeah, that has been my life. Did we check off anything? Did we check off anything in our thing?
I don't think so. No.
No, we did not check off a single topic. Holy crap, we did not.
Yeah.
Cool.
So while we are on cameras,
yeah, let's do that.
Maybe we could just continue with that stuff. Yeah. So my wife already booked next year's summer holidays. That would be the Faroe Islands.
Okay.
And so that's like August next year. So it's like we have to go to Denmark for, I don't know, that's 1 day or 1.5 days, and then take the ferry from there that's also 1.5 days, and then it's like 10 days, I think, on the Faroe Islands. And I've been thinking, yeah, maybe I shouldn't just take my phone, but finally get a proper camera. Still some time until then, but yeah. So far, I'm leaning towards. I mean, I don't think I need a new camera, right? So something secondhand and
right.
Sort of. I mean, what I'm currently leaning towards, but I guess there's still a lot of time, is actually a Micro Four Thirds camera, and maybe even go for I think it's not 10-year-old Olympus OMD EM1, right? It's already a 16 megapixel camera with image stabilization and everything, and then get some lens for it. I'm not sure yet what.
The OM Systems EM1 is not a bad camera per se. If you're gonna go Micro Four Thirds, though, I guess the big question I have for you is how much disposable income do you currently have?
You mean after paying already 3,000 euros to get my heat pump repaired?
Ow, okay.
And having an almost 10-year-old car that we might need to replace next year or the one after. I mean, that's the other reason, right? You can get one of those and, I don't know, some decent prime lens for under 500, right? So
This is true. I mean, if you're going to go micro four thirds, let me go ahead and look at a few options for you. Because you're not wrong, the EM1 wouldn't be too bad. But when it comes to micro four thirds, just I don't want to say this, but I'm going to. Your phone. Well, wait. What phone are we talking about here?
iPhone 13.
Okay, your iPhone 13 is better than a lot of the older micro four thirds cameras.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those situations where let me look at a few options in the micro four thirds world without breaking the bank.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure I care about what kind of. I mean, micro four thirds. I mean that's kind of on the small side sensor wise anyway, right? So
it is. It's still bigger than your phone sensor. It's just
definitely, yeah.
It's just the fact that with computational photography, phones are definitely punching above their weight class.
That's true. Yeah, and then that's the question, right? If you then go up, it's questionable if APS-C is even going to be enough, right?
Oh, no. APS-C, anything APS-C in the last, 7-8 years will kick the ever-loving crap out of a phone and micro four thirds.
Okay.
It's a no contest.
I mean, that's the other thing, right? So we do have the other camera that we have, I don't know even how old it is. That must be 16 years, a Nikon D40, right? So the body is kind of out of date, but
yeah, we
have a nice prime lens.
What mount is that? You said the D40?
Yeah, that's the whatever Nikon.
Yeah, Nikon D40.
Autofocus. But yeah, it's the old school.
Yeah, okay. Nikon D40 uses the Nikon F mount, but because it lacks an internal focus motor, it will only autofocus with lenses that have a built-in motor, such as okay.
Yeah. So it's questionable if it might not even make more sense to get a newer body because it's a nice Sigma, I don't know, 30 f 1.4 or so. The lens is super good. So, but on the other hand, then it's a big package again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Well, and the problem you're looking at there is Nikon has moved from the F mount to a different mount style. So you'd have to get a mount adapter to use that on a newer Nikon body.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, then I can. Yeah, I don't know. Or I just take my Minolta's almost semi-pro film camera, right?
There is that. I actually need to take my Leica and get out with it more.
Or my Voigtlander rangefinder, right? This has a 21 millimeter full frame lens on it.
Are you trying to make me hate you, Mister? So I've got a Minolta.
Yeah, it's I think a 9XI or something. I need to find batteries for it, but it's one of those fun ones where it does the eye tracking to pick one of the 3 autofocus sensors.
Okay, that's nuts.
That's a super weird thing. Like I think it's from the 90s or something, even, right? So it's
that is crazy.
But yeah, maybe that's actually a better thing to not spend the money on that, but maybe I don't know, then spend it on getting the film developed afterwards. I don't know. And some batteries, because it's one of those super weird batteries it takes.
Yeah.
I think the idea for Micro Four Thirds was mainly to get a smallish camera, right? But
I mean, at that point, I'd almost say just try to pick up like a Sony A6700 Sony camera release timeline. I'm trying to think which one it is. Because it's the one that kind of has a retro-ish body. Kind of has more of that rangefinder body to it, but it's their APS-C. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll just take the rangefinder, or I mean, it's not a rangefinder even. It doesn't even have any finder, that camera. So I have to have these external finders. But yeah, I do have a 21 millimeter lens and a 50. So maybe zone focusing both, even the 50, if I stop down far enough, it should probably be fine.
Well, and I think that's kind of one of those things that you're kind of hitting the nail on the head there, where it's you've just spent a lot of money on incidentals. Heat pumps are not fun ever. So,
Yeah, they had to come 4 times to
jeez.
fix it. Not because the they had any problems, but the even the customer service they called of the company that made them didn't even know what's wrong, right? And in the end, obviously, it was some missing software update and not the actual hardware that didn't connect because I don't know. It was annoying.
What? Huh?
Yeah, so some things were broken, right? They had some things
Right.
shorted out. They had to put them in but the company itself had already gone to a newer model, right? And then that newer model of the, I think, inverter couldn't connect with the rest of the system anymore, and they couldn't figure it out. And in the end, the guy that came actually tried, okay, let me see what kind of software they have on that, what USB stick they gave us. And then he just played around and installed some kind of update, and then suddenly it worked. And even their customer service didn't know that you had to do that. It was annoying.
That hurts my head in so many ways.
But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not going to buy a new camera. Sounds good.
You say that now.
Yeah.
I'm still going to try to tempt you because that's just what I do. I mean, to be fair, if you don't buy a camera, what you could do is buy a Visconti.
I mean, I already bought a few pens, right? And watches. So
yeah.
So maybe.
Do we want to finish my camera talk before we get to the actual pen stuff, or do we want to pretend that we're a pen podcast?
With the money you are spending on what I see here, that would be a fairly fancy Visconti. Yeah.
Yeah. So it says I was probably going to spend about $3,300 on yet another camera body. I'm no longer using Panasonic.
Mm-hmm.
Shocker. I sold all my Panasonic gear.
Mm-hmm.
Got about, I think after everything was said and done, I think I got $6,900 for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I switched over to Sony.
Okay.
So for those who have never gone through it, switching camera systems is not cheap, especially when you're going from pseudo prosumer to pseudo professional. So I did not get the Sony A7R5 because I didn't want to spend $5,000 on a body.
Yeah.
I didn't get the A9 II or the A9 III or the A9 or the Alpha 1 or Alpha 2. I went ahead and picked up a A7R4. No, A7 IV, not the R4. The autofocus on the A4 was slightly snappier than the R4. So I went ahead and picked up the smaller resolution sensor for that.
Yeah. I mean, the resolution is crazy anyway, right? So it's...
and we'll circle back around to that for reasons. So I did. On top of that, I also picked up a Sigma 24-70 f2.8, a Sigma 14-24 f2.8, a Sony G Master 200-600 5.6 to 6.3.
My back's already hurting.
Yeah, I've actually destroyed my right arm, bad tendonitis due to it, so fun times. And then I went ahead and picked up Sony G Master 135 f1.8. So in lenses alone, that was about $8,000 in lenses. About $7,000 in lenses. Plus the body cost me another $2,400. Because it came with the kit lens. I sold the kit lens, so I got like $100 back for that. Woo! So that brings me up to about, we'll just call it like 10.5. Well, then I was sitting there telling myself, I only have one camera body. I need a backup camera body, because without a backup camera body, I'm in trouble. So remember how I said we'll circle back around to the R? Yeah.
Yes.
I got the A7CR. Now, sure, it only has one SD card slot. Okay, I get it. You know, you want that redundancy, so why did I just go ahead and go with one card? I'm okay with that. 61 megapixels is a lot. It is a stupid amount of megapixels. Yeah, so I sent you a picture in Discord of a sunrise from last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first sunrise picture I took with the 7CR.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, I've dumbed it down to where the resolution on that picture is only... I have to find that picture again. Okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I've got the dimensions down to 5400 by 3600.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that small in Lightroom. Opening up Lightroom, and it immediately opens up to a picture of a guy in a frog outfit from yesterday's protests. Okay. Let's see. Downtown. The actual resolution of that sunrise is 9400 by 6300.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's no cropping going on at all. So I have a panorama next to it that's only 4 shots stitched together, and the raw resolution on that is 19,200 by 6,900.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can do a lot with that, I guess.
Yeah, that's a spicy meatball. So that was $3,200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for all purposes, I spent $14,000 on new camera gear.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of in debt, just a little. I need to start making my photography pay for itself.
Well, I guess if you spend so much, that's true, yeah.
Yeah. So there's some coworkers that have kids that need school pictures done and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to start small and work my way up.
Yeah. I mean, the renting a space is another expense, so probably not the best first step.
That's down the line. That is a little bit down the line. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Also, on the plus side, the next note, the one that says do or die time coming up on student loans. So thanks to how Congress decided to do what they did with destroying Biden's whole SAVE thing, which congratulations, people. You can't pass a budget, but you can fuck over millions of Americans that overpaid for college. Great job. I have a personal thing. This is going to be the closest we ever get to being a political podcast here. There are currently 538 people. We'll go ahead and add 10. There's 548 people currently employed in our nation's capital that need to be fired. 538 of them, because they can't do the one job that they've been elected to do, which is pass a budget.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, if you're an elected official and your job is to pass a budget, and you have not been able to successfully pass a budget in over a decade and just file continuing resolutions, GTFO, you're fired. You can't do your job. The other 10, I just think we need new people. That's just me. Let's just start over. Let's get some new blood in there. If you're over the age of 50, I'm sorry. Just know you're done. Well, no, 50's too young. 57. We'll stop at 57. Yeah. Anyways, that's the closest we're getting to politics, and end scene. Yes.
Yep.
So, but anyways, when they destroyed that whole piece of legislation that actually made student loans affordable, for giggles, my student loan company tossed me onto that. They're like, hey, you always recertify your student loans for your income, and we always end up tossing you on the lowest bucket anyways, so why don't we just go ahead and toss you on this? And I'm like, whatever, you guys are the student loan people. I've got so much debt when it comes to that stuff that it's not getting paid off. The student loans aren't going to go away until I keel over. That's just how that works. So they're like, are you okay with this? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You guys do your thing. So they put me on it. Well, the way Congress decided to go ahead and destroy that piece of legislation, they did it in such a way that student loan payments under that plan aren't being forced into any of the other repayment plans until 2028. Particularly, in particular, I think it was July of 2028. So, even though interest is still accruing on my student loans, which is also new. That wasn't a thing until August of this year. But with interest reoccurring on my student loans, technically I am in forbearance. Kids, parents, people listening to this podcast, don't take financial advice from me. I am single. I don't have a family. So I do this thing called reckless spending.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that I can still afford everything I do and have enough money set aside for catastrophic things. But don't be like me. Be responsible. Learn how to budget. There's your PSA for the episode. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, they're going to leave it in forbearance until 2028. I just logged into my student loan site.
Mm-hmm.
Planned forbearance. Payments will begin November 2028. Now, again, my loans are accruing interest. So at some point, I will have to be a good boy and probably start paying on my student loans.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait another 12 months, let myself get into further debt thanks to interest. Again, don't take my financial advice, people. And then I'm just going to go ahead and set my student loans on essentially a mortgage. So my student loan payment's going to be like $550 a month at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are worse things. So,
yeah.
What can I say? So there is that game plan. I'm actually, I got sidetracked and I decided to read a letter. So, my notice for this month. I need to update my address with these guys. Oops, that's good to know. Info. You now have additional time to recertify your income-driven repayment plan. Yvgenii, as a result of recent court action affecting income-driven repayment, Nelnet, at the direction of the Department of Education, has changed the date by which you need to recertify your current IDR plan to June 28th, 2027.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so whatever. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you never know what happens until then, right? That's sort of the other thing where...
Right, which is why I'm going to get off the income-driven stuff at this point, and I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to the actual repayment plan where it's just a fixed amount every month. Because I'm kind of getting sick of the whole every 12 months having to recertify, yada, 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 all that good crap. And I might as well just take the hit and sign up for a 25-year spiral of my payment being the exact same every month. So, yeah. Good times. So that takes care of that. Yay. But that'll also, because I'm not spending the $600 a month yet for the next 12 months, that'll let me reposition some of my other debts to get paid off so I can snowball the amount that I've put into my camera gear. Which, thank God, I don't need to spend any more on camera gear because I pretty much have everything I need. Oh, good news. That thing about the weird hum in the audio signal path that wasn't there yesterday but doesn't show up in blah, 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 but I know it's there, so it's bugging the ever-living crap out of me. I moved, so that's a moot point. Cross that off the list.
Nice. No one knows about it, but...
Yep, no one knows about it.
It's off the list.
It was there, but it's off the list.
Yeah.
I bought the photo scanner.
Uh-huh.
Now I just need to send 6 rolls of film off to get developed so I can scan them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have 4 rolls sitting here that I need to send off.
Here's the thing, though. Your rolls are probably actually properly exposed. They probably look great.
I don't know. I mean, half of them are from a toy camera, so you never know.
Fair. I mean, mine
and
are
they're also
from
expired since I don't know how many years.
Oh.
So unclear what will happen there. Yeah.
Mine are me trying to figure out how this whole film thing actually works. So,
yeah.
Okay, I lied. I probably have to spend like $250 more. I do need to get a Sekonic light meter. I actually do need to get one of those. That way I'm not guessing based on the exposure from the camera.
Yeah, I don't know if you need... I mean, just get a second-hand one. I mean, they've been out for 30, 40 years, those.
Oh, yeah, I was going to go
right?
to eBay for it. I was definitely going to go to eBay for it, yeah.
I don't know if you need to spend that much money.
Well...
I mean, I even have a really old one that's like with a selenium cell, right? And they are good enough if they still work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I will probably take your recommendations on light meters then. Because the only other option I have currently is to have one of my digital cameras with me and figure out what it says for proper exposure on the digital camera, and then expose an additional one stop on the film camera.
Yeah, or install one of the light meter apps on the phone, right? That's usually also good enough for film. And then you don't spend any money, and you don't have yet another thing to carry around, I guess.
Okay, I feel really stupid that I didn't think about that. Okay.
I mean, I've been doing that for a long time.
Man.
But yeah, it seems good enough, I guess.
Why did you have to make me feel dumb? Why?
You have to look at it the other direction. Now you're not spending money on a...
No, that's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
happy about that. That is like super awesome. It's just now I'm sitting here going, that seems like something I should have thought of. Now the good thing with the photography thing, I should be able to, because of some of the stuff I've already done around work. The managers at work have already established that I am the employee that they go to have photos done for the entire building.
Mm-hmm.
So once we get done backfilling all the positions that need to be backfilled, the manager for the entire sub-business group said that he's going to work with my manager to have me do all the recognition photos, archival badge photos for the entire business group in our building.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, that's what, 250 headshots?
Mm-hmm.
You know, practice is practice. And if I do a great job on those, then the people whose recognition photos and headshots I do, then they sit there and go, wait a second, I work with this guy that's a good photographer. Maybe he'll be nice and give me a discount on some photos, which of course he'll be nice and give a discount on some photos, but I'll still charge enough to make a profit. Yeah.
And I assume you're also getting at least some money for the headshots?
So without going into too much detail, my job gives me a little bit of leeway. And because of that leeway that I have, my manager is able to, there's a specific word I'm looking for. I'm a native English speaker. So unlike when you and Monica are looking for the right word in English, because English is not your first language, I should know the word.
But I mean, you should at least be able to say, hey, if I rented that gear, that would be cost this much. So at least that.
So,
I mean, you're bringing your gear that you've paid for yourself.
Well, here's the way I look at it. I currently make $40 an hour at work. And what they do when I'm doing stuff for the company is they pull me out of rotation for my standard duties. Mm-hmm. And so my standard duties for that period of time become being the photographer for the company. So they essentially change my job title. Are they compensating me for the cost of the gear? Does the gear constantly live in my trunk? Yes. With the exception of the cameras. The cameras come inside with me. But like the lights, the stands, all that stuff lives in my trunk. So could I potentially try to requisition more money from the company? Maybe. But that would be a little bit of a stretch. Because then it would have to go through appropriations and everything else. So I choose the path of least resistance there, which is completely on me, and I may be missing out on some money there. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they already pull me out of rotation and schedule around me helping make the company look good, which, let's be honest, that's exactly what they're doing. They know they've got a good photographer in their back pocket, and they're using me to make the center, and by extension, the company, look good. Mm-hmm. I am perfectly fine with being used in that way because they're allowing me to practice my skills.
They're paying you in exposure.
Urban, why? Why did you... why? I was okay with it until you said that. Now the musician in me is annoyed. Mm-hmm. You jerk.
Okay, so maybe at least, I don't know, you have some kind of notice board where you can then put on your, I don't know, flyer to say, hey, if you need pictures taken.
Yeah, there is a notice board. So I think that's what my manager was talking to me about last week when he was like, hey, something this. I think that's what he was getting at. So I've had it on my calendar in my phone to go ahead and get clarification on that this week. So, yeah. I do know one of my coworkers wants me to do couples photos for her and her husband. Apparently, they've been together for a decade and only have 4 photos with each other. Mm-hmm. So she wants me to help rectify that situation. I've got 3 people that want me to do graduation photos for their kids. And I've got a whole bunch of other ones stacked up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, then you can sort of argue that the rest is just practice for you. And then if it doesn't come out as well as you hoped, you're not even getting paid for, so no one can complain.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's also, yeah, if you don't continue doing it for the next 10 years, then I guess it's excusable. I'm going to excuse this once.
Okay, cool. Good. At least when we do my performance review in January, I know that you've given me a pass on this. That's good.
Yeah.
I will look forward, by the way, to our performance review. I think I've done better than the previous years. So, we'll talk about that when it comes time to my raise. There is one photo, though, that's on the schedule that I'm really nervous about because it requires me to probably bribe somebody. There are these things called Waffle House photo shoots where you go into a Waffle House and you just do a photo shoot that either looks audacious or nice or something that you wouldn't do in a Waffle House. Well, me being me, I'm going to figure out which Waffle House I want to use for this particular picture. And one of my colleagues who is going to be helping me improve some of my portrait photography, since I'm a landscape and wildlife artist primarily. She's gonna help me with my portrait stuff. I'm going to help her with the Waffle House photo. In this case, we're going to have a male model in somewhat okay looking clothing, holding a stack of waffles in one hand, a fork in the other, laying across a Waffle House table with copious amounts of butter on the waffles, and instead of a tie, a line of chicken strips going down from his neck to his navel. You know, chicken and waffles, the typical American thing. And
so weird.
It is. I don't do chicken and waffles. I'm a French toast person, but you know, chicken and waffles, a lot of people like it, so we're going to do it. And then we're going to have another person dressed up as a waitress holding this big carafe of maple syrup and drizzling the maple syrup on the male model while he's laying on the table. And that's going to be our waffle. Right. That's going to be our Waffle House photo. So I figure there's going to be a budget for the waffles, the chicken, and all that. They're going to make us pay for that, obviously. Then there's going to be the bribe for the Waffle House not immediately kicking us out for doing this or filing a police report. Then there's going to be the cost of cleanup. That one photo is probably going to cost about $300 to $500. If I had to guess. Which means it better become an internet sensation, or I better be able to sell prints of it somewhere and make some money back. Because, yeah, I don't know what it is, but just moving down here, I have gotten crazier and crazier with my photo ideas, and it's not necessarily a good thing. If anything, it seems like it may be a little more expensive. But you know, we'll circle back to that when it happens. There may be. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 70 whatever. I'm recording this during my 15 minutes of free time in county jail. No, I would never do anything that actually jeopardizes my employment. So if I can't bribe, pay off, or otherwise procure permission, then it will be a much more tame Waffle House photo shoot. But
also episode 70 would be in a few years' time, so who knows?
Oh yeah, hopefully this picture happens well before then.
Yeah,
hopefully. Yeah, so there is that. We do claim to be a pen podcast, but we are also kind of sitting at an hour of audio.
Yes.
So do we want to hold some stuff over for a next episode, and actually, now that I'm settled into my apartment, try to record sooner rather than later?
Yes, maybe we just do that one actual question I was able to get for the episode, right?
Oh, holy crap. You got a question for the episode? Why was I not paying attention? I'm a horrible person.
I don't know. It was just somewhere in the middle of the text. So very generic, but thank you for that question, because it's also a fun thing to talk about, I guess.
Okay.
So FedOps from Mastodon asks, what's your current favorite pen and ink and why? I guess that's good enough to get us started on pens anyway, right?
Yes, it is.
Do you still have any pens?
I still have
You have your big crystal.
I hate you. No. I have my Lamy 2000 rollerball still.
Mm-hmm.
I also have the Pelican M600 turquoise that was given to me by a listener of BYOB. I made a promise that no matter what, I would never sell that pen, and I have kept to that promise. It is currently cleaned out in the pen case with the Lamy 2000. My wrist is getting better at some point, hopefully. Keyword there's hopefully. My wrist will improve to where I can start writing again, and to where I may be able to do something video-wise with the Inktwell. I still have video lights and everything else, so it's something that I want to do. I want to get back into writing. I want to be able to have what I feel is a valid opinion of a $3,000 Visconti pen that you don't even know if you're going to get a good nib on it or not. Yeah. So that is what I currently have. I have not done any writing at all in the last way too long. Long. So that we're trying to change that one thing at a time. I do know though that I still have a quarter of a bottle of Pilot Hiroshizuku Shoro. So that is still my ink of choice. Yep.
Yeah. So I like the wording of the question, your current favorite, because obviously it is clear to everyone that it's going to change all the time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of maybe not so true for you, but definitely for me.
I hope with me it's just yet.
Yet. Okay. Yeah. So my current favorite pen isn't inked with my current favorite ink, but that doesn't matter, I guess. So the current favorite pen is a Tom Studio Pocket Pen. It's a nice pen, but it's a current favorite because it's a surprise, very late birthday present from a colleague. So my birthday was in August, but last week sort of the whole engineering team met, and then he gave me this cool pen. Some weeks ago, he even said, we were chatting, and he said, "Hey, I'm looking into getting into fountain pens. What do you think of that maker? What pen would you suggest?" And as gullible as I am, that's what I did. I answered, and I didn't think much of it. But then I ended up with this cool pen, and actually he I think he went overboard. So it came with a medium nib, but then he also got me an architect nib and a Fude nib and one of those brush tip pens tips you can put in, and a sample of one of the inks. So that's
pretty cool.
Actually super cool. Yeah. And favorite ink, well, I'm still very rarely using bottled ink. I'm still going through the ink samples. My current favorite is actually Octopus Fluids Burgundy. It's a nice red color, but it's also very it flows very nicely, and it's super fun to use. And I guess that's my favorite.
What is it called?
So it's a German. It is it's a German company called Octopus Fluids. They used to be a manufacturer from the GDR back in the day.
Okay.
So it's one of the few companies that actually made the transition to I don't know, still exists after the German reunion, because that was a bit of a fuck up. And a lot of, I mean, the east of Germany is still very far behind the rest of Germany, and now everyone wonders why the right-wing parties are so strong there, where everyone, I don't know, let's not get into politics, but it's not a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Some years ago, I think they used to be into making basically printer inks
Okay.
and sort of other stuff for other technical applications. But then I don't know, someone of them, some chemist, they said, okay, I want to try and play around with fountain pen inks, right? And so they made 4 or 5 and had fun with that. And then they sort of it I don't know, it actually worked, it seemed. And then they made some pastel inks, and now they have some sheening inks, and they now have a range of, I don't know, 30 or 40 document inks. And yeah, so it's actually a somewhat older company, but also fairly new.
Okay. I may have to, in about 3 years, when hopefully we have better worldview economic policies in the U.S.,
yeah,
I may have to have you send me some.
Yeah.
Dear God, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. To our listeners, I have a strange feeling the majority of you are, if you are right of center, you're not that far right of center, and for the most part, you're probably left of center in some degree or another. Just call it a hunch. But dear God, why the fuck does the current dude really think that mimicking the bad economic decisions of the late 1800s and 1930s, why the fuck does he think that's a good idea? Why the hell are we alienating every single one of our trade partners with dumb fuck ideas?
I mean, you would have to actually know your history, right? And think about stuff.
Right. So. Yeah, and he got into any of his schooling because daddy had money. I get it.
Yeah.
No, believe me, I completely get that. And you know, look, whoever you chose to vote for last time around, that was completely up to you and your ballot. Just can we quit having people run for our nation's highest office that are old enough to be getting the discounted menu at Denny's? For the love of God, can we please just quit running old people? I don't care what side of the aisle. Just quit running old people, and maybe make them actually, you know, there we go. We require people to take the ACT or the SAT to get into college. Can we require the president of the United States, and can we require our congressional leaders to take the ACT and the SAT, and you have to have a minimum score that actually puts you in like the top 15 percentile to actually be able to hold office? That way you have a proven, just any kind of proven record of actual thought, instead of just, oh, I come from money, therefore, oh, I can lead people. Like, dear God, you know, when I was a kid, I used to think that people that were overly stressed out about politics were stupid. And now I'm sitting here turning 40 in a couple months, and I'm like, dear God, I'm one of those old people.
Yeah, it creeps up on you.
Imagine if I had kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I just have dogs, but even then it's like, holy crap. So yeah, one
yeah, I mean, even here, we there's discussions, and we might be getting back to the draft, right?
Splitting you guys up into 4 separate parts was the dumbest thing we could have done. Look at how well it worked out for like fucking Korea. Yeah, way to go, Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And look at how well it worked out for Vietnam. Way to go, Vietnam. It's like if you take a place that used to be a sovereign place and then split it up because one of their leaders decided to be a royal dickhole to the rest of the world. It's like all you're doing is kicking the can of problems down the road to where future generations are suddenly really fucked up because all the shit you did to them made them fucked up. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the list longer, right?
Yeah, I know. Those were just the recent ones. I mean,
no, they weren't even the recent ones, right?
Right.
You have Iran, and you have Iraq, and you have Afghanistan.
Congratulations. It's like everything we touch turns to shit. Let's not even talk about, dear God, Africa, the entire continent.
Mm-hmm.
And then India and Pakistan. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, Colonialism. Maybe it was a bad idea after all and still is.
Yes.
Well, that was your history lesson on a pen podcast. So definitely thank you guys for listening to that rant. If you actually heard the rant, I'll probably leave it in because I think the older I get, I'm okay with saying stuff like that. The good thing is I know at least the way I said it will keep ICE from knocking on my door.
Oh, nice.
Oh, by the way, I sent you a link for a camera with a lens.
Okay.
Yes. That would be an everything thing. But anyways, thank you guys for listening to the episode. We're going to try to record another one here in about a month.
I mean, we still have pens and watches and stuff.
Oh yeah, we still have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. So there will be stuff to talk about. We just had to figure out what the hell's been going on for the last half year. So hopefully we'll be talking to you again in 2025. And yeah,
and maybe not. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was just going to go with hopefully we're still free to do so. Hooray.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I mean, that now you need to cut it out, right?
Oh yeah, that got cut out. Like that was bleeped. All you guys heard was a big bleep. So you guys can fill that in yourself. But anyways, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.